Thing that wasn't the crystal, that is.
It is an honor and a privilege to be this year's recipient of the Robert E. Caine Leadership Award. I had the pleasure of knowing Bob personally and remember him fondly as a businessman, league member, musician, and generally a terrific person. Always with a kind word, always willing to lend a hand, always willing to guide and teach. When I received the email from Megan telling me that I had been selected to receive this year's Robert Caine Leadership Award, my husband David was standing next to me, and all I said was, "Oh my gosh." He looked at me and he said, "What?" You know, the way husbands do. And I repeated, "Oh my gosh." I then looked at him and asked, "Who do you think is receiving this year's Caine Award?" And he said, "I don't know who."
There's you better than you.
And I said, "No, take a guess." And then he looked at me and he said, "You? Oh my gosh." So as I was beginning to write an acceptance speech, I decided to Google leadership and found some interesting definitions. Wikipedia defines leadership as the process of social influence in which one person can enlist the aid and support of others in the accomplishment of a common task. Isn't that what Bob did and what many of us in the league try to do? Dr. Mario Barrett, PhD, says, "In most instances, being a leader means going out on a limb when everyone else is playing it safe. It means visualizing something very different from the status quo, and then working to bring that visualization to life." During my last 10 years in the league, there have been many times when different approaches had to be taken, old habits had to be changed, new goals had to be visualized. I appreciate that I was only one of many leaders within the league that have helped to effectuate change, and that today the league remains a vibrant organization through the work of so many. It is an immense pleasure to follow in the footsteps of other leaders, Rick Johansson, Bob Ingold, and Nancy Hamilton, the prior recipients of this award, each of whom I know, like, and admire, and with each of whom I have spent many hours in committee, section, or board meetings. But leadership must go hand in hand with service. The spirit of service was ingrained in me throughout my elementary and secondary education years by the Sisters of Mercy, whose motto was "In serviendo consumere," in service consumed. In those formative years, they taught me that it truly is better to receive than better to give than to and I have learned. Oh my gosh, the Sisters of Mercy are going to get me now. And I have learned that everything you give comes back to you multiplied. As a league member, I have enjoyed mentoring new members over the years and working with many of them as the newest generation of the league family develops. The satisfaction that comes from working on a successful project with a committee or a section or the Board of Governors cannot be measured. As a past president of the league, I have committed to remain active and continue to participate on committees and educational programs. Thank you to the committee for this wonderful award. Thank you to my league family for enabling me to serve you.